Hey guys, you're listening to Quarantine with Sofi, a podcast where each of you get to share your stories and experiences throughout this pandemic and maybe find some common ground with others. I hope you guys like it. All right. Hey, Laisha. You wanna
Hi, Sophie.
you wanna let the people know who you are? Introduce yourself.
Yeah, okay. This is so nerve-wracking. Okay, anyways. I'm Laisha and I'm a senior at Granada. And I think most of you guys know me. I don't know. Probably, maybe. But
Yeah.
yeah, and I'm in quarantine too, so I decided to do this podcast with Sophie.
All right. Well, thanks for being on. You
Yeah.
guys know last week we had Melise on the podcast, and there was some scheduling conflict. So this week's guest is Laisha
Yeah.
Mania. All right. All right. Well, are you ready to get into it?
Yes.
Alrighty. So let's start off basic. I like to ask this question to everyone who's on the podcast, and just to get an idea, like from the beginning. Okay. So lockdown is now, like, this is official lockdown, like you have to stay home, like, and if you go out, wear a mask and everything. Like, what was the last thing you did or last memory you had before all that happened?
Okay. Last memory I had was I like a rainy day at school. Like that's like
Yes.
probably the last thing that I
Yes.
remember happening. And I actually remember like a bunch of drama was during that moment.
Mm-hmm.
So like 2 weeks without school, I was like, perfect. So I feel like that's the
Yeah.
main last memory that I had.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think I had like a small little family reunion before that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like the last thing I could absolutely remember.
Oh, well, that's nice that you got to like do a little family gathering before things got
Yeah.
like really bad or anything like that.
Yeah. It was great. But
I
I mean, when we
know.
heard of it, we were like, "Oh
Yes.
my God!" We couldn't believe. I don't know if this is a question, but
Yes.
oh my God, my mom was like, my mom. She was like,
Yeah.
"No, like it's no." And then we went to the supermarket, and it was like the lines, and everyone was like everyone was freaking out that there was no toilet paper or like
Yes.
sopa maruchan, and we were like
Yes.
running to go get everything,
Yes.
and we were in line, and we're like, "This is not happening. Like we are not in a global pandemic right now."
I know.
And
And
we were.
even before the lockdown happened, like while we were still in school, I remember kids in my class would be like, yeah, my mom went to Costco the other day and she couldn't find any water bottles. And I was just like, people are over exaggerating. Like, I'm sure it's fine. And then
Exactly.
literally after they were like, lockdown, total chaos. It was
I
not good.
know. My mom was like, like, what are we gonna eat now? Like she was freaking out, and I'm
I
like,
know. It
I was
was
same. I was insanely scared.
I know.
Yeah.
And because it was like, well, my thought was like, what do we do if we actually can't get a hold of these things? Like,
Exactly. Cause I was like, oh my God. Cause my uncle was at my house that day. I remember like that was one of the last things I remember
yeah.
before we were actually shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, they're lying. Like people are making it a bigger deal than it actually
Yeah.
is.
Uh-huh.
And I was all like, maybe you're right. Maybe we should go to the store and start
Yeah.
preparing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy, chaotic.
Well, so moving on to the next question. Well, once they were like, okay, they were like, okay, like there is a mandate to stay home, be isolated, like lockdown, right? Like, what did you initially like say or like do, like say maybe to yourself, like in your mind, like what was your thought process, or like did you do, like did you maybe like freak out or like just
Well, I was freaking out. For me, not so much because
mm-hmm.
we're young. We get
Yeah.
the virus. We
Yeah.
we have a better immune system.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, dang, like I was thinking like maybe I could go out. I don't know. But I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
if I get it, I give it to my parents, and my
Yeah.
parents aren't. Like that was my first thought. Like my first
Mm-hmm.
automatic thought was, what if my parents get it? What if my grandparents get it? Because of me and my fault,
Yeah.
And I was in total shock that like our stupid president couldn't do anything about it. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, you have all the control in your hands to do something about it. Like, do something.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just getting worse and worse. And every day on like the news, I was just like, every day like that was going by, I was freaking out more and more. And I was all like, dang, like, what are we gonna do? And
Yeah.
it got to a point where I was like, we're all gonna die. This is it. Like that, this is the end of the
Yeah.
world. Like
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking. And my parents being all religious, and my grandma was like, just pray. I'm like, no, no, God needs to do something now.
Yes.
Like I was freaking out.
I know, and here's the thing. I wasn't worried necessarily like a lot because I went to the doctors a week before school ended, after our competition, right? And while I was there, my the doctor that I was seeing, she was like, "Do you want to get a flu shot?" And I hate needles. I don't like flu shots. I don't like anything like that, right? And
Yeah,
I was like, "Ah, I really don't want to. But she was like, well, I think it'd be a good idea, especially with this whole coronavirus right now. But she was like, but I wouldn't worry about it. More people die than the flu. Like, you're more likely to die than the flu, than the
yeah,
coronavirus. Like, it's not a big deal. And so when she said that to me, my whole thought process was, okay, a literal doctor said, well, this isn't my normal doctor. This was just a doctor that I was seeing for like urgent care, right? But she was like, okay, I was like, okay, a doctor isn't worried about this, so I should try and think positive too. Like she knows what she's talking about. She's a literal
yeah.
doctor, okay?
Same.
And so I was like, it shouldn't be too bad. Boy, was she
Wrong.
wrong. Like I would just want to go
Exactly.
back and see her again and be like, ma'am, you gave me false hopes.
I know, because I went to a doctor as well, like during Corona.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember it was when things were like really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And like they were taking like blood from me, and like I was kind of woozy, but I remember him saying how if people go to that doctor, like if to that like clinic, physical clinic, if people go and they have corona, like some like a car goes, like a big truck goes and gets them and isolates them like in a hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And like
Oh,
you don't ever come out until like you're
oh
positive.
yeah, you told me about that. Yes.
Yeah, and I was freaking out. I was all like,
Mhm.
I don't want to get tested, even if I come out positive. Like, no,
Yeah.
like, don't test me. But yeah, and like the first 2 weeks after, because it was 2 weeks that they told us that we were gonna come back after like 2 weeks,
Mhm.
and I was like, that's so amazing, like a 2 week break. But
Mhm.
when I saw things like not next month, and we're not gonna go back at all, and I was like,
Yeah.
this is real. That's when I was like, this is real. This is Corona coming for us.
Happening.
Yeah, I know.
I know it's happening.
Exactly.
Well, with the next, so this is leads on to the next question, but like with corona and like being in lockdown and quarantine, do you think it's maybe made you more antisocial, or maybe the opposite, made you more social? Like, do you think it's had an effect on you?
Well, I know a lot of people have siblings.
Hmm.
And so, like, they have siblings, they have someone at home. I'm an
Yeah.
only child. I have my dog, and my dog can't talk back to me. So I was like, dang, like with time, I was like, I don't want to go back to school. Like, I used to love school. Like, I was such like
Hmm.
a school person.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, I don't ever want to go back. Like, there's no student in me to go back to college or high school.
Hmm.
So it kind of made me more like less people person, because I'm know a lot of people, and
Hmm.
I can talk to anyone, but I'm just like, bro, how do I even start a conversation now? Like
Hmm.
I feel like it just has made me like less social than I ever thought I was, and it was horrible. Because
Hmm.
my cousin came over, and we were talking about it, and we were like, bro, like I hate it here. Like what? And we were thinking about it. We're like, we have to go back to school someday, and I was all like, you mean
No.
I have to go see the people that I don't like at school again? I was just like, ugh. I was like, I don't want to go back to school anymore. And my mom, like, when she asked me, she's like, you want to go back to school? And I was like,
No. I'm
no,
done.
I don't want to go back to school.
See,
Like,
yeah, like I, even before this, like I wouldn't consider myself a people person. Like, I don't like being surrounded by a bunch of people, like, or being in a super crowded place. Like, it's not my scene. I don't like it. And with COVID, like, I don't know, like, it definitely has made me feel more like just think more about like if I have to talk to someone over the phone or something like that. Like I definitely worry more than I used to before. Like I'm like,
yeah,
what if the conversation doesn't go right? Like, or what if it's just awkward? Like, what do I do? Like I remember in June or July, it was somewhere around in the summer where things were going down a little bit. I went to Baskin Robbins, with the Billers. You know them, right?
Yeah.
And we did like this social distance, like almost like not tailgate, but we all were like had our cars and we parked in the parking lot and we just all sat outside there in the parking lot and talked, and we got ice cream too, right? And I was so nervous. I was like, obviously, one, because of COVID and stuff, but we were safe. And so that wasn't a huge issue. But I was also nervous. I was like, I haven't talked to them like face to face in so
Exactly.
long. What if it's awkward?
Yeah.
Like, what if I forget how to interact with anyone other than my immediate family?
I know, same, bro. I want to go see like Johnny also like to go eat for
Mm-hmm.
breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, shoot, like I haven't had an interaction with the friend in so long. Like, what
Mm-hmm.
do I say? Like, what am I gonna respond with? You
Like,
know?
how are
It's,
you? How do you
I
think I
know,
am?
like we're in the same position, dog. Like,
Yeah.
it's honestly insane. And yeah, like I am the biggest person. Like, I could talk to someone my age,
Yeah.
but I get the biggest anxiety to talk to adults.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, it's the worst thing ever. Like my family members, like from my dad's side, I
Mm-hmm.
don't think they've heard me talk before ever. I was little. Like they all make fun of me. They're like, you can't even say hi sometimes. And I'm like, I have anxiety. Like it's the worst
Mm-hmm.
thing ever. And then when they started like a conversation with me, I'm just like stop talking to me. Like, you
Yeah,
know?
like
So
I don't wanna engage in this.
yeah, so I feel like Corona kind of helped me in that part,
Hmm.
but also made me like worse like to talk to like my own friends because I kind of don't want to go back to school at all anymore.
Yeah. And speaking of friends, do you think that it's made you maybe like it's maybe strengthened relationships with some friends or maybe
Um,
weakened other relationships with friends?
so before school, a little drama here and there that happened.
I
You know
think
about
so.
it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know about it. I feel like that was like Corona like kind of like saved me and was all like, you're gonna stay home, like you don't have to see them. And that was
Yes.
for me. I was like, God bless you. Like wherever you are, thank you, God, for doing that. But like with other friendships, like some people I haven't talked to in so while and they were
Hmm.
like my closest friends. Like the only person I could like really tell you that like I feel like strengthened our friendship was Johnny. But
Hmm.
that's like it. Other than that, like any other people like around that, I'm just like,
Hmm.
dang, like
Johnny cut his hair, huh? He like
yeah.
shaves it all off.
He shaved it off, but it grew back.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
but like that's the only person like our parents too in a way, like because if we would meet up, it would also be our parents, like me,
Hmm.
his mom and my mom.
Yeah.
And so I feel like in that way, like our both of our parents got to know each other,
Hmm.
and I feel like that like was like a peak in our friendship
Hmm.
as well. But other than that, everybody else, I feel like they're just there now.
Were there
Like
like any super close, any people you were like super close with that you just like you basically
yeah,
talk to rarely?
yeah, like I know Alma, like we were close, like we would hang out
Hmm.
every day at school. But
Hmm.
I've like texted her once or twice.
Hmm.
But other than that, like, and also some other people too, like I would talk to every day at school, and I'm just like,
Hmm. Yeah, like
we
you
don't
and I,
talk
we
anymore.
would talk
Yeah,
every single
exactly. Because
day,
we had a
and
choir, and then
yeah,
now I got put in shreds.
yeah.
Anyways, we don't talk about that.
It's okay.
We don't talk
Don't
about
worry,
that.
you're not missing out. Genotes isn't any more fun. I trust me. Oh
Yeah,
my
I
god,
mean, shreds is
it's not. Yeah.
horrible.
All right. Well, moving on to the next question. With like quarantine stuff, like I like to bring this up with everyone who's on the podcast because I think it's a very prominent thing with quarantine. It was a really good time to just get to know yourself better and have time by yourself and just kind of like get a more realization of what you're like on your own and like how you function. So was there anything maybe new you like learned about yourself or maybe a new hobby you were like, oh, I like doing that and I never expected that, or just anything
Yeah.
at all?
Okay, so yeah, so I realized that when I'm bored, I eat. Like that's
I felt that very much.
like when I'm bored, I eat.
Mhm.
So I was just like, dang, like I need to start getting in shape, you know? So I would go on walks, and then
Mhm.
I got a dog, and I never knew my love for
Mhm.
dog was so strong. I was like, I never knew I could love a non-human so much, you
Yes.
know?
Yes.
And with that
It's
as
like they're an
well,
actual person. Like you love them
yeah,
like you would an actual
exactly.
human
I'm
being.
like, I just want like 20 to be like, my dog is absolutely insane. I have no idea where he gets his energy from. I'm probably one of the most laziest person ever, and I'm like, why did I get you? Like, why did I decide to get a Yorkie like this small, like runs everywhere?
Hmm.
Anyways, but with quarantine, I moved, and you know,
Hmm.
I never knew like how like moving works and stuff.
Hmm.
So, we were with our real estate, and I was like, I was working with my like, because I'm like the only one that knows how to work the computer the best in
Hmm.
my household. And I would always be there, like knowing and talking with the real estates and being like, hey, this and that, this and that. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I would love to be a real estate. And that's something that I have figured that I want to do.
Oh
And I want to
wow.
get my license soon.
Hmm.
So like I told him, I was like, hey, like I'm gonna get my license and maybe start doing real estate at 18, because you can get your license at
Hmm.
18 and start classes at 17 and a half. So I was like, that would be great. Like while I'm in college, I could easily do that. And I never knew that I liked real estate so much. Like I was
Hmm.
there with them, and I was like, I want to do this. And that's
Yeah.
I probably something that I learned that I never knew. Like I never had an idea of what it was.
Hmm.
But because of quarantine, it gave me the chance to understand it. Because if I was in school,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been as focused on it as much as
Hmm.
where I have no school.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that I definitely want to do.
Wow, interesting. And speaking of moving, how was that process with Corona and all that? Like, how did that
I
work?
mean, you obviously like you have to have a mask on
Hmm.
to every house you go to,
Yeah.
and you have to sign a paper before, like, hey, you haven't been with someone, this and
Hmm.
that. But I mean, other than that, it's real like real estate doesn't get really much affected by Corona.
Hmm.
Like moving houses does not affect you at all,
Hmm.
because you easily get to go to the houses like you normally would,
Yeah.
leave, all that type of stuff. So
When do you finally get to move into the new house?
we have no idea. Just because
Hmm.
we got it about a month ago, the 23rd
Yeah.
of September.
Hmm.
And we were just like, we're gonna fix the flooring, we're gonna fix this, and we're gonna fix that. And
Hmm.
we're like, okay, like it was like three things. But when we were gonna fix something else, another problem started, and then this
Hmm.
problem, and then we forgot we had this, and it was a whole mess. So right now,
Hmm.
if you were to go to the house, it's
Oh, so right now you guys are just waiting for like the construction and all that to be done.
yeah, we're waiting for we need to
Oh,
do
okay.
the I think the two main things is the flooring
Hmm.
and painting it. That's it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but we have done a lot with it, and it's like crazy. Like you go in
Hmm.
there, you're like, this is a mess. Like if you were to go, you'd be like, oh, she's living in a dumpster, literally, because it's a mess.
Well,
It's
because I saw your snaps. It was so funny where you went. I don't know if it was that house, but the house you went to, they had like koi fish or whatever, and
yeah,
your real estate agent gave you guys some as a housewarming gift, and you thought they were dead for a while, like a seagull.
yes. Oh my God, this is so off topic, but I'm gonna say the story to who's watching.
All right.
So I had when we went to the house for the first time. They said, hey, with the house, you get a koi. They're called koi fish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was one this big, like 2 inches. They grow up like
Wow. Mm-hmm.
huge or huge. You have to take care of that, and there's like a pond. You
Mm-hmm.
have to take care of that, and you have to take care of the bunny, Marilyn.
Oh, the bunny came with the house.
Yes, it's like a
What?
domestic bunny. Like
Oh, so it wasn't the owners of the house, but it just
no, no,
went
no.
there.
Like when the owners got there, the bunny was there. So you can imagine that bunny is years
Oh,
old,
okay, I
years,
get that.
and everyone like in that community knows the bunny.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So like
cute.
like when they walk by, they just sit there and like
Mm-hmm.
look at the bunny. But that fish, the freaking lady took it. But I'm pretty sure it was because she was mad.
Mm-hmm.
Like real estates are effed up sometimes, and they don't
Mm-hmm.
like you when their house gets sold for less than what they put it up for.
Uh-huh.
So that's what happened, and we're thinking that that person got mad, or either the person who was taking care of the home took it with them. Because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lady that lives like two houses down that was taking care of the home,
Yeah.
and we thought maybe she took it. Well, anywho, I was kind of furious. I was like, dang, like
Bruh.
I got a fish, I had a whole ass fish to feed, you know? I was like so excited. And then after that, my dad called the real estate and was like, hey, like, we want to go see the house and the fish isn't there anymore. Like, what happened? And my dad makes like a whole story. He was like, she was crying and devastated that there's no fish. I was like,
he said that
I was not crying. Yeah, I was like, I was not crying.
I was perfectly fine. I was a little upset, but I could manage.
I know, but he was like, yeah, she's crying nonstop that her fish got taken away. So that day when they went to go give us the keys, he's like, hey, I have a housewarming gift for you guys. And we were like, yeah. And he brings out 4 fish, like real fish. And I was like,
oh my goodness.
Oh my God. And then after that, the person who was working at the home goes and sees a bird. It was I don't know what bird it was, but sees a bird outside, like in the water, and then it flew. So he told my dad, he's like, yeah, like they took the fish, like that bird took the fish and ate them. So I promise you, for about 3 weeks, we thought they were dead. Like they were dead.
So you didn't feed them for 3 weeks?
We didn't feed them for 3 weeks. My dad even, like, if there's any like pet inspectors out there, please don't like come at me. But my dad really, or something around that. My dad got like big blocks and even threw them into the pond because he thought they were like,
he didn't know
they were gonna get rid of the pond anyways. We made something in front of it. We're gonna get rid of the pond. So he got like big like blocks and like stuff and just started throwing them into like the little pond. And then like 2 weeks ago, no, not 2 weeks ago, 2 days ago, my dad sent me like a video of like the fish roaming around, and I was like, they're immortal. Like, did they die and come back or what? But the next day, one of them did die.
Oh.
So now we have 3.
I don't like fish, so not too much of an.
Oh yeah, I forgot you're like those weird people who don't like fish.
Hey, I don't know what it is, but there's something about them that they're just scary. Like, for those of you who don't know, I have like a severe phobia of fish. Like, I can't stand them. I don't like the way they look.
People who don't like fish are just like so weird to me, bro. It literally can't do anything to you. Literally.
I don't like them. They're scary. They're scary. Anyways, moving on. Moving on. Okay. So this is a bit of a like not heavier topic, but so I'm sure you're aware there's been a lot of things going around like with quarantine and stuff like that, like political wise, like for example the Black Lives Matter movement right now with Armenia, I believe, and then with the elections coming up in November, there's just so much happening. Like, do you think that with quarantine and stuff right now, has it opened you up more to like, or maybe I don't know, I'm just saying, but like if you are more invested in things like socially and political, do you think it was because of quarantine, or do you think you just would have come around eventually, or like do you think maybe it would have taken you a bit longer without quarantine until you were like 18 or so? Like, do you think you care more now than you did before?
Yeah, I mean, like the Black Lives Matter and stuff were obviously gonna happen despite like Corona or not.
Yeah.
But I feel like because of Corona and because like, you know, we're so much like on our phones like recently that it's just like I could see everything and what's going on. That it has made me like open my eyes and be like dang, like this is really going on, and our president is just sitting there doing nothing, and not just doing nothing but adding to the problem and being such like white supremacy, you know, over all of this that's happening. So it's like it opens my eyes and be like, dang, like I was never like politics, like I was like, I just know who my president is and that's about it, like not even my vice president, you know. But now, like, I'm seeing, like, the debates, you know, on Twitter, or this person, The Fly, and, you know, all this type of different stuff that it gets me more, like, involved in what's actually going on. and like the
100%.
big problems that are going around because
Mm-hmm.
we're more on our phones because of quarantine.
Yeah.
And if we were in school or if we were just like no corona, then it would have just been like a problem that just arose and that's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like our generation has gotten 10 times more involved. So
100%. And I feel like
I'm
because, like, I'm not saying that, like, let's say COVID didn't happen, we wouldn't care as much. But I just feel like because we have so much time to just really sit down, look and see what is happening in the world, like, we're definitely more, like, conscious about it, I guess. Like,
yeah,
and
exactly.
it's still really hard to not be conscious about such big things happening right now. But I feel like, I don't know, I guess it's just now you realize that with the pandemic, you realize how bad the world really is right now, and then you're just like,
Exactly.
okay, there's a virus right now, but now even more bad things are happening. Like, there's so much racial and there's always been racial injustice, but there was definitely like a huge wave of it this summer and stuff. And it's just like it it's crazy. Like, there's so much happening right now, and
Yeah,
especially people are on edge with the elections coming up. And it's just it's
I
hard. It
know.
sucks to see that the world just can't get a break. Like,
Yeah,
it's one thing after another. There's definitely been like a lot more of like people calling out other people. Like, there like people from Granada were like called out of like things they've done in the past, or
yeah,
like, or when you don't post at all, like the least you could do is post and spread awareness. And there's
yeah,
definitely been like a lot more of like people being held accountable for what they do and don't say.
yeah,
And just,
exactly. And I
yeah.
feel like, oh my God, like there was a video. I don't know if you
Hmm.
know about it. I don't know if this person is gonna see this video,
I
but
think I
someone
know
who
what
I
you're talking about.
went to our middle
Yeah.
school
Oh, our middle
posted a video on TikTok saying Trump, like Trump 2020, and
school.
she had a big flag on her room. Yeah, and like this other girl like was going on Twitter hating on her
Hmm.
and said something like super mean to her. And I was like, who is it? Because we went to the same middle school, like the girl
Yeah.
that tweeted. And I was like, who could this be? And then one of my friends sent it to me, and and then she was like, she told me, she's like, dude, what? Like, no way.
Hmm.
So like, it's so funny. Like everyone from our middle school, like a lot of popular girls from our
Hmm.
middle school, were saying like, get well soon, clown, no way. This
Uh-huh.
is so
Oh my God,
embarrassing.
send it to me. I need to see
I'm
who it
gonna send it
is.
to you right now.
Oh my God.
But
Wow.
it was insane. Like that's what I'm saying. Like this girl got, you know,
I know exactly who you're talking about.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. I'm shook right now. I'm like, do people still even say that, shook? Oh my God. That is, wow. I did not expect that. Wow. Oh my goodness. That is just, see, you know what? Whatever. Okay. Well, moving on. Just like to a bit of a
Yeah,
lighter
it's crazy.
topic. Like, let's uplift things, make it a little bit more fun. This is a bit of like a lighthearted question. I was talking to Jesse the other day, and I was like, what do you think could be some fun questions I could ask? Like some fun, interesting questions. And I was debating on whether or not to put this in the rapid fire category, but I was like, you know what? I think this would be a good question to have like a good deep answer and really like have it thought out. Okay. So,
I'm excited.
okay, so let's say if you had to choose someone to quarantine with, whether it be a friend, a family member, a famous person, just anyone, if you could have chosen one person, or maybe top two or whatever, who would that person or who would they have been?
Oof.
And explain
Okay.
why.
Okay. Definitely not my parents. I love my mom.
No, no, no,
There's
no,
literally.
no. Okay, let's say you quarantine with your immediate family. You don't have to choose between them. You're with your
Oh,
immediate
okay.
family, but then
I was like,
plus this other
definitely
person.
not my parents. I got to that real quick. I
But
was like,
plus this one other person.
oh dang. Um.
Maybe even animal. I don't know. It could be anything.
Okay. I love Johnny, but I would never in 10 years quarantine with him. I would never. Um, one person who I've been seeing on YouTube a lot, and I would absolutely love
Mm-hmm.
to be with this person for at least like 5 minutes, would
Yes.
be Emma Chamberlain.
Emma Chamberlain. Wow, really?
Yes, I've seen her videos. I
Mm-hmm.
absolutely adore her. I love her style,
Mm-hmm.
way of being. I feel like she's just like so badass. I'm just like, I would love to be with you for like 5 minutes. And I feel like there's so much of her that I would be
Mm-hmm.
so interested in.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just love her videos and I'm love her. You know?
Wow, interesting. I was
Yeah,
not
that would be
expecting
definitely
that
one
answer.
person.
I was expecting something like, I don't know, Bad Bunny or like the artists you like listen to a lot.
But I feel like Bad Bunny would not have a lot to talk about, except for
Well, see, you thought it out. You thought it out. That's a good
yeah,
one.
I feel like I've been seeing a lot of Emma Chamberlain recently, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I would love to be there. Probably Bad Bunny too. Oh, mm, I don't know. I have to think about Bad Bunny there for a second. Definitely her, and then
That's a good
my
one.
cousin, because we're the same person, and she stayed over. She was like, I'm gonna stay over 4 days, and she ended up staying for 2 weeks. And I was like, cool. And during those 2 weeks, like I opened up so much, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I needed this. You know, there
Yeah.
was nights in the night where we had like things that we needed to talk about and get off our chest of, and we would
Mm-hmm.
just end up crying. There was nights where we laughed and we would get in trouble till like 3 in the morning
Mm-hmm.
of things that like make no sense too. Like there
Mm-hmm.
would just be things that I'm just like only we can find funny because we have the same exact humor.
Mm-hmm.
We would talk about guys, and we're like recently we were both just in the talking stage,
Mm-hmm.
and it was ruined completely. And we
Oh
would be like,
no.
and we would just be like, bro, we're so funny. Like these people missed out. Like we're
Yeah.
hilarious. Like that's probably a person that I could be in there for like a long time. Like those two people.
Those are good answers. I like those answers. All right.
Yeah, I like that
Well,
question.
thank you. Props to Jesse. All right.
Possible.
So we're getting towards the end of the podcast. And I like to do this little thing called rapid fire. So where I'm going to ask you a series of questions and then you just answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. Don't think about it. Just give me brutal, honest
Oh,
answers. Okay.
okay.
Ready?
Sure.
As fast as possible. No pressure, but okay. Ready?
This will be a little difficult, but okay. I'm very slow, so
It'll
go
be
ahead.
fine. All right. Okay. Favorite movie?
Coco.
Favorite song?
Um. Something Bad Bunny.
Favorite
Any song
comfort
Bad
food?
Bunny. Favorite rice.
Rice. Oh wow.
Rice.
Favorite
Rice.
artist currently?
Oh, Bad Bunny.
Okay. Something new you've learned?
That I love
Yes.
jewelry. Absolutely love it.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
I learned that too. Okay. And last one. Last thing you searched up on your phone?
Oh, can I leave?
Yeah.
Can I
Yeah. Yeah.
look?
Yeah. Of course.
Oh, how to connect AirPods to a MacBook, because I've never done that and I needed it for this podcast.
Is that why you took a while?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness.
That's why it took a while.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
And
All
then
right.
something else, my second and last thing that I searched up, because of Sophie as well, are bags of my cords because of
Oh
you. I got
yes.
into looking at them.
Dude, oh my God. So for those of you who don't know, I bought a bag recently. And because I've always wanted, my cousins are one specific cousin, shout out to you, Madison. I don't know if you're listening to this, but she loves to collect purses, okay? And she has like a shelf in her room where it's so nice, like it's like a white shelf and they're like it connects to the wall, I think, but they're like floating shelves.
Oh,
And so it'll be like a purse and maybe like shoes and then a purse again. But she has so many purses. And I've always like been like, wow, like because I've always admired her. She works so hard and she works for her money. Like She has
Yeah.
such nice things, and like I see that she works hard for it. And like I've always been like, I want to be able to like buy myself things like that. Like sure, it's nice to have your parents buy you things, but there's more
No,
meaningful, it's
yeah,
more
I
meaningful when
completely
you buy it yourself.
understand.
Yeah.
Like when you have your money to buy yourself, you're just like, wow. Because when I started working, I
Mhm.
wanted something and I was like, hey, like I would always be like, hey, can I get money to buy it? But
Mhm.
now I'm like, I could buy it for myself because I
Yes.
worked for it.
Yes. And so like I always saw like she had a bunch of purses to choose from. And I was like, when I'm older, I'm gonna have a bunch of purses to choose from too.
Yeah.
So I'm copying you on this Madison, but I like it. And so I recently I've had like a few here and there, but they're just like ones from like a regular store or whatever. And I was like, I didn't want to go overboard. Like I'm only 17. I don't need a huge purse or like a super
Yeah,
expensive one.
exactly.
But
Not a
I was
senora purse, yeah.
yeah, I was here, look. I think I have it over here. Okay, look. So it's a little black one. It's a little square
It's
and
really cute. I
it
love
has
it.
the little handles. If for those of you who are listening, I will post a picture on the Instagram if you would like to see that. So check that out. But it's
Yeah.
has the handles and then the shoulder strap, and then it has like the two clips and then a
Yeah.
zipper. And I love it. It wasn't too pricey, and I think it suits me for like
Yeah.
my age.
Because
Like
I know you wanted the Kate Spade one. And
yeah.
when you called me, I was like,
That's what I was worried
no.
about. I was like, I feel like it's too senora bag.
Yeah, it was like the bag
Yeah.
was like that. And I also felt like Kate Spade isn't really a much known brand.
Yeah. That's
And I'm like,
why
I'd rather you
yeah.
like waste your money, like not waste your money, it's
No,
not a
spend,
spend your money.
spend.
Spend your money on like a bag that's like, oh, like
Yeah.
Michael Kors, you
Nice.
know?
Yeah. 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 My
'Cause
mhm.
I'm not that big of a bag person, but I'm huge on mini backpacks. Like I will have many lying around in my house
Mhm.
because mini backpacks are my thing.
No,
Oh
yeah,
wait,
but
and
I
now
love
on a
it.
song that I love because
Oh,
this is late, but it would be Piel de Seda, which is such a good song. Have you heard it?
I have not.
If you were to hear it, you would like it's such a simp song that you just like sit there and like start crying. I don't know.
Text me the name of it, and
I am.
I'll look it up. Okay,
I'm gonna do that right now.
I'll do that. Okay, well, so that was a little tangent about the purses. Wait, what were we talking about
Sorry.
for the purse? Oh, the last thing you looked up. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the purses, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want to get one soon, but I don't know which one.
All right. Well, moving on. We're towards the end of this little podcast slash interview. So I like to ask these last three questions, I guess, if you want to call them questions. But one being, do you have any predictions for maybe yourself or the world or just anything at all? Any predict like what's next in your life?
For me, I would say that um, I definitely want to enjoy this last year in high school.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I always hear, hey, those friends that you had, you're never going to see them again.
Yeah.
And that's something that scares me. So I'm like, you know
No.
what? If that's true, I enjoy that time now.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, by next year, I want to see myself working in real estate. And, working in real estate gets you banked. And that's something that I'm excited for because,
Yeah.
if you work hard with it, there is a certain amount of money you get, a percent from a house that you sell.
Yeah.
So I'm excited on that. College, of course, pretty good college, hopefully, that I get into. And I have a feeling Corona is gonna be over by that time. Like
I hope so. I really
I have
do.
a feeling it is. I have a feeling that, next year we're gonna be like, oh my God, remember that one time when we were all stuck inside and we had nothing to do? I feel like that's hopefully gonna be a memory we have by next year.
Mm-hmm.
And not just something that continued.
That's a good one. I like that. Well,
Yeah.
and moving on, do you have um, anything you want to say to the listeners? Any like word of advice or just
Word of
maybe a
advice.
hello or like just
Hi
anything at
guys.
all?
I know my voice is really annoying. I hate my voice as well.
Not.
But um I hope you guys have like a great year. Like end it off strong. Like no matter like what you're going through, it's gonna get better. 100%. Cause sometimes you feel like you're stuck at like a certain point and you just like can't, like as much as you try, you can't get over it.
Mm-hmm.
But it will, and Corona will be over. I swear. I promise. Hopefully. Just
That's
kidding.
good. Good one. Well,
Yeah.
and lastly, is there anything you want to say to future Laisha? Maybe you
Oh,
go back and listen to
future.
this. Anything you
Oh
want
my
to
God.
tell her or just ask? I don't know. Anything at all.
Dang. Well, future, I hope you're being badass right now, bro, because you work way too much right now not to do something,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
And like, I hope you're traveling
I like
the
that. You
world.
work way too much right now not to be something.
Yeah, I'm like, I really hope that those those work hours that you had, those crying
Mm-hmm.
moments that you had of staying up, volunteering, work paid off and did something for you. I hope you're still doing taekwondo because I know right now I'm not, and
Oh
I hope
yeah.
you're still doing that because you know. Anyways, I really hope, like, this is something that I told myself, and I'm like, I really hope you start traveling with
Mhm.
taekwondo. Like, I really hope I end up at least one time national champ or something. Like, I
Mhm.
really hope I'm on a private team soon or something. I
Oh.
really hope that could happen soon. Um, I hope you're still studying no matter what, and I hope you're traveling and working, 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 working. That's it.
Good one. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
working.
thanks for being on, Laisha. I really enjoyed
Thank
it. I
you,
hope you had
Sophie.
fun. Do you want to
I
like
did.
give a quick shout out, let the listeners know where they can find you, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it be you want to plug?
Yeah, so we this isn't really a YouTube channel where I can be like, hit that subscribe button. But do follow me on Instagram, Laisha Mejia with 2 A's at the end. Twitter, same thing. Please follow me. Thanks.
All right. And if you guys want to see maybe like the video version or video snippets of this podcast or behind the scenes of things we mention or pictures like that, you can find that at quarantine.wsophie on Instagram. And you can also find Laisha's at linked there and down in the description below.
Yeah.
So, oh, and I forgot that these podcasts go on YouTube. So yeah, if you guys like it, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I
Oh
can't believe I'm saying that.
yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Well,
We're gonna be famous someday.
one can only hope. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Next week, tune in to our guest Elle, and then possibly the following week. I don't know. We'll see. We got something in the works. We'll see who that
Yeah.
is. But I hope you guys liked it. And yeah, thanks for being on, Laisha.
And thank you, Sophie.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.